Brother Kellen, how are you? He says, India, Ari, couldn't play Nina. Yeah, she would have been perfect. India Ari would have been perfect. Yes. Daryl, how you doing? Said the Colombians hate her for the movie Colombiana. Yeah, I saw that movie. She did play the starring role in Colombiana. Yeah, average logical thinking, how you doing? Says gonna have to catch a replay. I don't know. I didn't know black folks were still mad at her for playing Nina. Well, it came up again because of her Oscar speech, right? Sharice, how you doing? Says there are so many foundational black Americans who are talented enough to act in those roles. There's zero need to import someone to play a black American. And that is the other argument. Like, why are you guys digging in everywhere else, right? Europe, uh, Latin America, and there's a whole lot of other people. Andrea, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Says I was going to say Lauryn Hill as well. Yep, she would have been perfect. Your average logical thinker, you says Colombiana was good. For what I can remember, it was. Gilbert, how you doing? Who else we got on here? Harley, how are you? James was going and says, I don't care. I know my sweetheart Demetria is all black and through and through, baby. Through and through. Ricky, how you doing? Says her ninja wake-up call is coming soon. She loves playing in the Mayo. Yeah, she married to the Mayo. You can believe that. Robert, how you doing? Says you look he says you look a little like Sister Nina, but not all the way. Yeah, I've heard that like a lot. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's my head shape or something. I don't know. Asada, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Sister Shirley, what's going on with you?
It's your eyes.
Is that what it is? Uh Archie says I was hesitating to ask you on the live on Sunday, but yeah, I meant to ask if Nina Simone is your auntie or something, but I guess I wasn't the first one to see it. Nope. I've been asked that before. Hot Cinnamon, how you doing? Says, what do you want by it says, what do you want biracial people to claim they are? I listen, and I'm glad you asked that because I actually don't get into the whole biracial thing because they are what they say they are. If you got a black mama, white daddy, whatever, if you identify as black, you black. If you identify as white, you white, right? But it's not up to us to say what people are because unfortunately that's something that we do here. In Black America, we try to disqualify or qualify people by who they are. And as I said, if you truly what you guys are calling foundational Black American, then you have to be mixed with something. As I said, I'm not light skinned, but I'm not dark skinned either. And one might ascertain that Massa been running up and down in the slave quarters where my, great grandmamas and them was at, right? So as far as the biracial thing, I don't get into that because I think it's unfair to always call them to the carpet of what are you? Are you black? Are you ain't black? Are you ain't white? If I say I'm green, I'm green, and who are you gonna tell me that I'm not? See, that's how I feel. But I don't get too much into that.
Didn't Michael Jackson solve that for us with the song Black or White? Didn't he solve that in the song?
Did he? I don't know. Asada, yes, I think Nina is, I mean, not Nina, Zoe definitely is tone deaf. Okay, let's see who else came on here. I'm going to give it to Donovan. On Code TV, what's going on with you? No reparations, no vote. What's going on? He says, what's up, family? They shouldn't get mad when we say FBA. Yeah. And let's see who else. Don't ask me how you doing. Long time no see. He says the reason I haven't watched a new version of Star Trek is because I saw the black chick kissing the other guy, and I'm a Trekkie. Well, to be honest, in Star Trek, Aurora, I think that's how you say her name. She kissed a lot. Then her and Captain Kirk kiss. And I think that was like one of the first biracial moments, romantic moments on TV, if I'm not mistaken. So wouldn't have been anything new in the new series, if that makes any sense, if that's what you're talking about. JC, how you doing? Says maybe Indian, okay. And I think I got, and Sister Shirley says the doctor asked my daughter, did she have a Jewish lineage? Well, I'm tell you something before I give it to Donovan. Oh, I don't see my book. I always put it's in my room. I was gonna read it. If you FBA, okay, come real close because I want y'all to hear it. I don't want to say it too loud. If you FBA, you probably have some Jewish lineage running through your veins. If you know, you know. Rick Rude, how you doing? 48 TCO TCO, what's going on with you? Donovan, what say you?
I'm not really familiar with this thing because I don't watch award shows because that's for pimps and hoes. But I woke up this morning and I saw some captions about this, and what I don't understand, maybe it's just me. We've got a lot of more pressing issues going on in the world then we're worried about a woman who is white adjacent, whatever she calls herself. She's a working actress. I'm not trying to defend her and I'm not trying to attack her. But why are we so surprised at these new younger people who have been raised in a, hey, the world should be kumbaya-ish, and oh yeah, you're just like everybody else, when those of us that are older, we know that there's nothing new under the sun, not much has changed, and it is what it is. And this is why you have these people that are so damn confused. You've got black, and again, the woman's nature, nature is nurturing. That's part of their genetic makeup, and they're more accepting of doing things. So, I'm not surprised that she's trying to identify as this or that, or jump on the bandwagon when it's convenient to do this and to do that. It's to me, it's divisive, it's divisiveness, it's confusing. But I'm not surprised that these younger people are confused the way they are, because again, just like the minute civil rights and all this crap gave the black civil rights, and I'm not saying everybody, but you guys know where I'm going with this. When they could have access to interracial sex, that's all that mattered. You know what I mean? Getting to the other side, or to move into the white neighborhood, or to this. You could be the blackest of the black of African descent, but they try so hard to leave the black area to go into the white area and all this other stuff. So Zoe Saldana, I'm not surprised. It's like these British actors and these people that come over here. We have some very talented actors right here in the United States, but these people will cut each other's throat just to get a job. And I'll give you a good example. Joy Reid recently got fired, right, from MSNBC, right? She recently got released. But who was released before Joy? You guys remember Melissa Harris Perry? Did Joy say, oh yeah, no, I can't take this spot because you guys fired my girl or whatever? No, it's next up, next up, next up. We eat our own. And now that Joy is gone, who's taking her spot? 3 people of color, a black man, a black woman, and a Hispanic woman. There is no honor among thieves.
Sharice, thank you so much. Because I'm gonna read your comment. And hey, cousin Sean, how you doing? It says it matters because they're taking money and resources from foundational Black Americans, and it also matters because it's what's for dinner. It's what I wanted to talk about today. That's why, because we talk about a whole lot of other stuff from here to there and everywhere. And every time we ain't got to talk about something serious, Trump gonna do what Trump gonna do. The Democrats gonna do what Democrats gonna do, which is, oh, I got good news for y'all. Walter is coming back tomorrow. And we gonna get to the money, okay? We ain't talking about, we black, but we figuring out how to get to the green tomorrow, okay? So I just wanted this for y'all that's been emailing me and asking me, where's Walter? Where's Walter? He'll be here tomorrow. So I just want to put that out there.
I definitely agree with Sharice, and what she's saying. But my thing is, why are we surprised? And, I'm not surprised that they take from us. They constantly do it. Everybody does it, and we allow it. That's the sad thing.
Yeah, and that's where that delineation. But see, the other thing too is, I'm gonna take this down. The other thing is, Black people, the studios that we do have, Tyler Perry, I mean, I'd say he's pretty Black, he hires a lot of Black people, hires other people too, but I would say he hires mostly Black people. The other thing is, Black people can't tell them people what to do with their studios. You don't have no power in Hollywood. You don't. They do, right? So they can hire whoever they want. But with the Black studios and things that we do have, we should tell stories that matter, right? Instead of producing garbage. But see, the other thing too is, and I remember Ice Cube saying, he says, because he was talking about, I think he was going to do a movie about Iceberg Slim, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody asked him, well, why don't you do a movie? And I'm just going to throw it in there, like about Marcus Garvey. He says, because y'all won't show up for that. If I do a movie about Iceberg Slim, everybody's going to show up. He says, I agree. We should be doing a movie about Marcus Garvey, but y'all ain't going to come watch that. So that's partially our fault as well, right? So anyway, oh, really? He says they're confused and led astray. Let that woman be because she's been confused for a long time now. She also yells at her husband publicly. What? Roz, he says, and did I say hello to him? Not hello. He says, when are ADOS and FBA going to stop supporting films with immigrants who make money by cosplaying us? They have zero respect for us. Black American actors are starving because of them. James, thank you so much. He says, I love chocolate, cinnamon, caramel, nutmeg, gold, bronze, copper shade. Ladies, crazy about Demetria. Well, thank you. Says another Barry White song for you, September Love Unlimited Orchestra. Well, thank you. I'm going to have to put that in my playlist. Thank you so much. Don't ask me. Says, I'm definitely not shocked, but it's time for this FBA cosplay to end. Who ends it, though? Who is going to end the cosplay? I will say this. Black Americans have been very good within the last couple of years, because y'all remember Cynthia Erivo? She played Aretha Franklin and then Harriet Tubman. Black Americans said, nah, we ain't doing it. Right now, from what I understand, it didn't do so well, right? She's the one that played the lead in Wicked, which I saw Wicked. It was really good, so I ain't gonna front. It was a very good movie. But Black Americans said, no, we not gonna do it. And, rest is history. Hello, love. He says, we have so many people who have intentionally bred children of other cultures. Those cultures do not call themselves Black at all. I know a lot of mixed people, and a lot of them do identify as Black. Just want to put that out there. But yeah, I guess some of them don't. And a lot of them do. Win, lose. It's entertainment. How you doing? Says, why not create your own stuff like entertainment? I totally agree with you. Maureen, how you doing? Astrological thinker says, but who is hiring them? Come on now. It says the Black artists aren't pooling their resources to create studios, etc. No, we continue with this whole DEI. Let me in. Why you won't let me? Put me in your movie. Put me in your... Put your own stuff in your own company, your own movie. We see almost $2 trillion in our community every year. We can't make a little studio. Hell, you got an iPhone, you can make a movie. That's what Issa Rae did. Issa Rae started by putting her stuff on YouTube. Her little Diary of an Awkward Black Girl or something like that was on YouTube. And that's how she blew up, by making her own content with her own stuff. And then the rest is history. So if she could do it, anybody can do it. And Issa Rae is putting people on, right? From YouTube to where she is now. Just want to put that out there. And I know some people are going to say she's not really Black American. She's born in America. I guess she's Eritrean or something like that. MC Factor says Blacks aren't people of color. People of color means Black. Totally. Negro says blackface is a Hollywood what a tradition, and Nina's role is applicable to that. Yes, indeed. Damon.
Can I answer that last one? I think I answered it in the chat real quick. Yeah, whenever I actually have to say people of color, I am pointing out Black people. You could be Black-skinned and literally born at FBA, but when you don't do for Black people, you're a person of color, because you ain't doing for your own people. Simone Mamie Sanders, Michael Steele, people like that, Joy Reid, whatever. When you don't, Jasmine Crockett is a prime example. She is not a Black person because she doesn't do a damn thing for Black people. So I'm kicking them out of the community.
Russell and Maxwell, how you doing? Long time no see. And Brother Damon, what's going on with you? You says we showed up for the 888. We should always make positive movies. Rather people show up or not. Our children deserve this. Yes, you know what? That was actually a good movie. And the Gangsta I Am, I cried a couple times during that movie. It was really good. It was one of the better movies by that of Tyler Perry. Yes, other than that, a lot of his stuff is pure garbage. Like garbage. Okay. He made a series not too long ago that I tried to watch. I can't think of the name of the dang on movie or series. I couldn't watch it no more. It was just disgusting. Huh?
Series was not called Bissonette.
No, it wasn't Bissonette. You're frozen. Yeah, there you go. It wasn't. I forget what it was, but it was just pure raunchy, just garbage. And I was like, I will not. So anyway, Damon, you say DEI is BS distraction, nothing for FBA is correct. Don't ask me, says our voices are collective outrage. And then Samuel, how you doing? He says, who cares if she says she's not Black, so be it. Delineation is a must. Yeah, again, but we didn't produce those movies. Hollywood produced those movies. Black people don't have no say-so in Hollywood. One of my favorite actresses, RIP to her, is Dorothy Dandridge. She had a lot going on. I read her book. I watched a movie with Halle Berry, and I've, studied her extensively, but she says it was known, especially back then, that those Hollywood executives expect Black women, especially even if she was going to play a mammy or, a housekeeper or something. And these were her words. They expected us to drop our panties just for those roles. And a lot of them did, right? Because for them, and I'm not saying it's right, I'm just telling you from what I understand her saying, you go be, a maid or a mammy or something like that, or you say, okay, because let's keep it a buck too, okay? When they was maids and mammies and all that other stuff, the mister, if you will, of the house was chasing them around that too. So in their mind, it was probably like, all right, I might as well get paid a little bit more money, be on the silver screen, and give this sucker what I really don't want to give him, right? So the point that I'm making is ain't much changed. Nothing much has changed since the days of old Hollywood until now. Black people have absolutely no control, which is why a lot of times you see them, taking up the mantle, if you will, for other communities. They like, especially when the war between Hamas and Israel broke out, you saw a lot of Black actresses and actors and musicians, take it to their Instagrams. I stand with Israel and all that other stuff. And nobody ever thought to ask why. Why are you coming out like that? You could have kept that to yourself if that's what you did. But why did you why were you so demonstrative about it? I don't want to too much get into that, but I'm just saying for the point of that Black people don't have a lot of control in Hollywood. Just put that out there. Gina, how you doing? JC, he says, we let y'all know I hate that word, the other person in there and in the here to take, not give. Diane, how you doing? Says we as FBAs need to be unapologetic in gatekeeping all of our culture from others moving forward. Yeah, period. Because there's nothing else you really could do outside of that. Keep your own stuff. Gatekeep your own stuff. That's what we should be doing. But as I said, one of them get to doing the Watusi or whatever's real good, or a dance. They getting it. Donovan is frozen up in a whole lot of different poses with this cat. But then we get to inviting them to the picnic, right? Oh, they couldn't give them a black card. And as I always say, then they run off with the mac and cheese recipe because you let them in the picnic. And now they making millions and billions of dollars off of something that you should have kept to your people. So, I don't know, Donovan is still frozen. I always tell Donovan, make sure that you're hooked up directly to the internet. I don't know if he is.
I am connected directly to the internet. I'm not frozen on my end.
Okay, yeah, so I don't know maybe if they can see it or not. Yes, James on Hollywood. Gina says that's like Cynthia Chick who keeps betraying our ancestors and has no lineage to them at all. Yes, Cynthia also got called out for being anti-Black American. She had a whole lot of tweets calling us names and things like that. Sounds like she's since apologized or whatever the case is, but Black Americans are like, yeah, we ain't gonna forget because now you're over here cosplaying us. But it's like on one hand you hated us, but then on the one hand you want to make money off of being us. But like so many have said, there's a whole lot of other people in Black America that could portray us. I don't know. Jupiter, how you doing? Says good afternoon, Dimitri. You still got the Boule shields like roly poly and that old up and coming shield defiant lawyer pushing that DEI and civil rights BS. Yeah, somebody actually sent me a text, and I guess that Roland sent out a mass text to everybody. I guess he's going to be having this Boule soiree. Yeah, come on now. Let's coin that. Boule soiree tonight on his channel. It's going to run for a couple of hours. He's going to have all these civil rights leaders and people on, and they're going to be doing a show in juxtaposition of Trump's State of the Union. I guess his, first one speech. They're turning their backs. They're shunning it, and they're going to be doing their own thing. And, he says he wants to get 100,000 people watching at once. I won't be one of them. But I say all that to say is, yes, they are going to die on the hill of DEI harming Black people. I'm telling y'all, please be very aware that they somewhere, somehow are benefiting from selling the narrative that DEI benefits us. Because again, this is my suspicion, okay? They have to keep Black people mad and busy for 4 years. Because if Black people wake up during the time that Trump is in office, and listen, I'm not saying that he's right or wrong. I'm just saying because Democrats are not in power. If Black people wake up, even more so than we did this last election, then that spells doom for the Democrats. So they got to have your Boule, like the defiant lawyer, Roland and all these other people keep Black people freaked out and in fear that you're going to be on the plantation if you do not continue to fight against a system that never has and never will benefit you. I promise you. That's what they're doing. So, Arson, he says, yeah, I'm not even FBA yet. I feel it's insulted for you guys when, for instance, Daniel Kaluuya, I know he's talking about, was playing Fred Hampton as Judas and the Black Messiah. I mean, he was really great, but hey, yeah, he was really good. But yeah, they seems like they look at Donovan, he's frozen. You were frozen like this with your cat.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, I'm not frozen on this end.
I don't know. Maybe it's me, but you're freaking. Our Negro says Joseph E. Baker didn't want to play a maid in American roles because she had maids when she lived in Paris. Yes, and she was before that of the Dorothy Dandridge. You know, yeah, she was. Maxwell says Zoe Saldana has always stated she wasn't Black, but played Black roles. Is hilarious to me. But my thing is, what about the directors that giving her these roles when she's saying she's not Black? Why are y'all casting her as in Black roles, right? Damon says, miss me with a man who dressed like a woman as an entertainer. It's a long list of coonery. Yes. Moo Obey, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Donovan, jump in anytime. T says that Trump will, okay, is Trump willing to ruin 100 years of international relationships with our closest allies because he's a Russian asset or because he wants rubes and dances?
Yeah, he means rubles and don'ts.
Okay, rubles and dunces to believe he's a great deal maker. Salam.
Let me ask you this: as somebody who's been in the war, and a lot of the vets have been in the chat, is it more important to stop the killing and stop the killing because a lot of people are being killed over there, or do we continue to give them billions of dollars and we're no closer to peace? Remember, Trump's a businessman, so yeah, war is big business, but at the same time, him being a businessman, he's saying, hey, we could do this and we could do that and do business and make money. And I'm not a Trump supporter, but you got to look at it from, whatever your value system is it more important to stop the killing first and make a deal? Now, you got to look at it strategically. If the United States has strategic value in the country, like we're their business partner, or we have economic interests, be it the minerals or whatever the situation is. Since we have economic skin in the game, wouldn't Russia be more apt to have peace talks? Because if you mess up our economics, we're going to get involved and it's going to expand. So, I'm going to say, as somebody who's been to war, it is more paramount to try something different. We've been giving these people billions of dollars over the last couple of years, and the war has expanded. So do we continue to do that, or do we try something different? That's all.
And I think the long and the short answer, in my opinion, I have never been to war, not in the battleground anyway. Yeah, I think Trump is being puppeteered by that of Putin. That's my opinion. I think that it is, because war is not nothing new. They've been giving money for wars since they've been paying for wars in the United States of America. So I think at this point, for people saying, oh, he's not on the lap or, doing the will of Putin, come on. Come on. So I think that's what it is more than anything. And that display Friday was pure ghetto-ness, if you ask me.
No doubt. But see, what everybody's forgetting is white supremacy still wins in the end. No matter how we look at it, Ukraine is very racist toward Black people. Did you guys forget how they treated those Africans when the Russians were coming in and leaving them behind and stuff like that? So at the end of the day, white supremacy is going to win. Either way it goes, we're losing, because, again, all that money is being thrown overseas and we can't even help our people right here in this country.
Yeah, and of course, and I think what people forget is sometimes we can have two conversations at once. Yes, Ukraine is very anti-Black. I don't think, if it's a secret, surprise, they're very anti-Black. But I think the other side of the conversation is, yeah, Trump obviously is doing a little bit of tap dancing for Russia, because keep it a buck, okay? So both things are true. Ukraine is anti-Black. Trump is doing some tap dancing for Russia. Okay, none of this is new. None of it at all. But for me, people trying to dress it up as tough as Trump was trying to be tough, and he, sticking it to him and all that. So, there's been a lot of leaders in the White House and anywhere that have been tough, but they didn't have to act the ass. Just saying. Let's see here. Who else is on here? Charles, how you doing? Says she doesn't like her black features. Talking about Zoe. Maybe not. Cherie says, stop the killing field. The British has a morbid obsession with Russia that goes beyond centuries. Yeah. They are the world has an issue with everything in every other country, right? It's none of this is new. Felicia says, need to remember that the peace envoy, he says 2023, from 7-9 African leaders to Ukraine, they did not want ceasefire. They in Poland even grounded the delegation aircraft. It says in something it to fly further. I think maybe got inhibited to fly further. Is that what you're trying to say? Okay. Maxwell says, I don't believe Trump was wrong in checking Zelensky. Okay. Let's see. 4-day TCO said, that's why I don't give a damn. Okay. D from the NYC, how you doing? Says, they all, hate us. F them. JJ Mars says, all those Europeans are just as racist as America. Yeah, that's their peoples. MC Fact says, Trump has never started a war. Look back at his last term in office. Never said that he did. Herschel, he says, I think it's more about payback for that perfect call scandal. Okay. And Tim, he says, tell that to Senator Warnock from Georgia. He all up in a photo with Zelensky. Yeah, the Democrats, I mean, that's not a secret either. The Democrats gave Zelensky a lot of money, and there's a lot of Republicans did too. Don't y'all act like y'all brand new to this. Who y'all think was getting that? It was damn near unanimous in Congress when they was giving them that money, and the Republicans had the House, and Democrats had the Senate, and they were giving money to them. Right? It was not a whole. It might have been some, but it was never no big old giant roadblocks to giving Ukraine money when Biden was in office. So, like I said, I see a lot of the conversation going on as to pretend like Republicans was always on the up and up, and they riding hard with Trump. Because I'm telling you right now, a lot of Republicans are scared, and they saying they agree with Trump, but I guarantee you $1 to a donor that had Kamala at one, they'd be speaking out against Trump. I'll bet you. So let's not get brand new here. LV Big One, how you doing? Says Zelensky and Ukraine is racist, not our concern. They are, you're right. Hey, Mr. Evans, how you doing? He says, hey, what's up with it, y'all? Nothing and everything at the same time. How you liking this weather? Are you still in Houston? And Fort Union, he says, no white supremacy will not win. The Most High, y'all will always hold that position. If you know, you know. The weather was doing some funky things today. Again, Houston is on a red alert, saying that it could be a firestorm. I don't know. We'll see. Hey, Terrell, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Carol, he says the Nazi most ruthless officers were Ukrainian. Yep, that is true. Brother Damon says, get FBA the tangibles. Miss me on all the other BS surrounding America. Yep, Robert says, we act like our history just started in America and we are the original people. We better believe it. Brother Don, he says, FBA ADOS, Black, it's all a distraction because you truly are none of those. These historically, all this to keep you blind to who you are. He says, and what is really going on behind the scenes? Trump isn't who, and the comment cut off. Terrell says, since Zoe is not Black, she shouldn't play Black roles. Then where does she come from? They're all anti-Black and colors as hell. Yes, Dominicans are very anti-Black. Maybe not all, but the ones I ran into, and put it that way, very anti-Black. I saw a documentary the other day, and they hate Haitians, and they share the same island. JJ says Elon making Nazi salutes and the small hats very quiet. Yeah, like what's going on here? Okay, what is going on? Gwen, he says, and if I didn't, hello, he says those people in Ukraine do not even like Black people. They wouldn't even let them on the train. Yep, when they were trying to get out of town, so Black people go do some research and shut the hell up. Yeah, I mean, I'm not standing for neither one of them. I see a lot of us that are. I don't have a dog in a fight. I can't do nothing for Ukraine, in Ukraine, or with Ukraine, okay? Barely in the United States of America, let alone anybody else. Now, if you really want to get into what's going on around the world, there's a lot of places in Africa that need our attention. I mean, if we were going to do that, right? Like Sudan. I read a story in Sudan that says that as an act of war. The opposition, they're running around assaulting in the worst way you can think of, put it that way, children as young as 1, and they feel like they're getting back at the Sudanese by doing that to their children. It says hundreds of them have been violated in that way, boys and girls, because and forgive me, I don't know who the opposition is off the top of my head, but they feel like that's their tactic of war, is to do that to their children. So and they said that the UN and other places in the world never talk about it because it's racism, because they're Black people, whether we like it or not. Africa, they're Black people, and those things are happening. So yeah, we're going to talk about anything outside of ourselves, which we shouldn't at this point. We should talk about that kind of stuff. Russell, it says it's all about money. Come on now. Quicks, how you doing? Says Zelensky always got his hand out, but didn't let those Africans evacuate up after white folks. I don't care what Putin does to them. No more of my money. I mean, yeah, I don't have a dog in a fight with it at all. But they do crazy stuff to Black people here in America all day long. Ukraine, America. So Black people don't have a friend nowhere. Michelle says, I didn't agree with Vance saying something to Zelensky. In my opinion, Vance is too young to be vice president, and he is trying to make a name for himself. For him to run in 2028, I would never vote for him. Now, I don't know. Trump doesn't sound like he really cutting for him like that, because, maybe Trump is like, I'm going to do a 3rd term. And you say, yeah, the weather is perfect right now. Yeah, the sun is, shining and all that other stuff. But now, earlier, it was like, MC Fact says, Demetra, that last comment about Trump never starting a war was not, okay, gotcha, focused at you. It was a general observation for the chat. Yes, indeed. So, but you're absolutely right about that. Enlightenment says, Donald Trump sees China as the biggest threat, as a competition. He's wanted to break the relationship between Russia and China. There's been some experts that say that, yes, since he, who is it that he, I can't remember who it was that he sanctioned. Oh, well, now he's done it with tariffs, right? He's done it for real today. Mexico, Canada, and he's going to do 10% more on China. Some are saying that's actually going to make it easier for China to become a stronghold in a lot of the other countries. Oh, yeah, when they got rid of USAID, they said that now that makes China more of a superpower with those other countries, because they could say, hey, we got the money here. Lean on me. And then, those countries will removing United States further and further out of, having a stronghold and being able to hold some puppet strings, if you will. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if you also guys heard in the Senate, the Democrats stopped the bill that would outlaw trans people in sports. Now, my question to you, Demetra, is they did a poll, and a lot of polls say, if you're a Republican or a Democrat, most people are in agreement, at least 70% plus, do not want men participating in women's sports. But the Democrats in the Senate, talking about they have no power, blocked the bill. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so you're saying that the Democrats blocked the bill.
Right. That would ban trans men performing in women's sports.
Okay. So how did they block the bill?
They didn't get to the 60 majority to pass it along.
So was it all Democrats, or was it some Republicans as well?
It was mostly Democrat, I believe.
No Republicans?
There were some Republicans. I think there were some Republicans.
There you go. There you go. You answered your own question.
Yeah.
It was so it was blocked by both, right?
Right. But I think most of all the Democrats voted for the block.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a secret either. Kamala was running around standing, for all of that, the sex changes in the prisons and the kids. And so that's what the Democrat. Oh, sorry, hold on. I don't know what that is. Hold on.
But yeah, and I'm looking at that as recovering Democrats, you guys, and I'm kind of saying the will of the people, the majority of the people don't want men participating in women's sports. We can agree on that. But they are not listening to the people. See what I'm saying? We got to stop calling these people our leaders, because when you call them a leader, it's like that Tiffany Henyard girl and all these women, not women, but all these leaders get into this position. It goes to their heads, like they're untouched. They're unassailable. They're not accountable to anybody. We are the leaders. We got to start calling them public servants, representatives, because when you call them that, it kind of puts them in their place and it makes them remember who they're accountable to. But Dimitri, go ahead and continue what you were saying.
I don't know what that is, if that's my alarm or not. But if it goes off again, my apologies. I don't know what that is. I have to figure it out.
Smoke detector. It sounds like you need a man to go up there and change the battery.
Beep. It doesn't go. I don't know what that is. But I got a lad. I know how to change my smoke detectors. Michael, how you doing? Says Dimitri, I spread your message about Latino woman saying thank you to Black Americans for giving them their flowers. However, I emphasize substance from non-Black people. Yeah, they need to, make it do what it do. But welcome. Let's see here. And thank you, James, once again for the donation. And I have to dust off my acting skills. Max, how you doing? Says, amen. The hunger is unabounded. Okay. Terrell says, I want to see the meeting between Vladimir Putin and Trump. G.A. Hamilton, how you doing? Long time no see you. Says, she's only Black when it pays well. Yep. Okay, let me skip down, y'all, because almost done. I was supposed to be a half an hour. Asia Lee, how you doing? Says, Black man void. Black means void. We are not Black. I say I'm Black. I don't have a problem with it. Y'all don't want to be Black. Y'all more than welcome to be who you want to be. But I always say that I'm Black. But I'm not telling y'all what to say. Maxwell says, I don't care about any entity except for my people in this country. Everyone should hold their own burdens. Yeah, we have to. Ant Dog, what's going on with you? Says, what do you think you are accomplishing by talking like this on the internet? And I don't know who you talking to. But yeah, like I was saying, Donovan, none of this is a secret. That's what the Democrats cut for, And it should have been more people, Americans, opposed to men and women's sports. It doesn't even make any sense. You know what I mean?
But to have the whole Democratic Senate vote for a bill that most Americans agree that we do not want. See, and it's like I was saying when you were gone. That's the problem. We got to stop calling these people our leaders. We got to call them what they are. Elected representatives. You represent us. But see, when we call them our leaders, they feel that they're unaccountable to the people that put them in the office. So again, if 70%, which is very rare in today's political atmosphere, that Democrats and Republicans agree and American people agree overwhelmingly. I haven't ran into any Democrat other than a very, very liberal female, single female, who is for women and men in the same sport, So it just goes to show you how out of touch the Democratic Party is when they're not listening to the very people that put them in office.
Yeah, but they all do. They all do it. The Democrats do it. The Republicans do it. Republicans, they getting ran up on in all their town hall meetings by their constituents. They getting ran up out of there. There's one, I can't remember his name, but he was doing the town hall and they ran him up out of there because it's like, now we Trump, but we didn't vote for all this other stuff. They're like, where's y'all backbone? Y'all just going for any and everything. People losing their jobs, this, that, and the other. So yeah, it's on both. None politicians they don't listen to nobody. They don't.
Well, 9/11. I think they got the. I think they got the. The Republican side got the hint. That's why Trump is back in office.
Yeah, but again, regardless of who it is, Republican, Democrat, if you don't like what they're doing, vote them out of office. It's that simple. Vote them out and let them know you didn't do what we sent you to office to do. You got to go. That's how it's supposed to be. You ain't supposed to have your Mitch McConnells and your Maxine Waters and all them old cooters up in there till they die. If they not, especially if they're not doing the will of the people, get them out of there. Send them to Shady Pines. It's that simple, So let's see here before we get out of here. For Union says, what did I sing? What did I say? I don't even remember what I was singing. Yeah, I told y'all I know how to sing. I've sang my whole life since I was a child all the way up. Guess now. But I've been in choirs my whole life, whether it's in school, college, church. So yeah, something I actually picked up from my dad. My dad could sing. So let's see here. Our Negro says she may be declaring she's Dominican, but she's made a lot of money cosplaying a Black as Black. How Black actresses lost out being highly paid because of her. Yeah, she's the second highest paid female actor of all time. So that's wow, you know. And I think Avatar is one of the number one grossing movies ever, and she's been in all of those. So I think that's kind of why it helped her as well. Okay, Quick says, I don't want Africa in China's grip. I've lived in Beijing and know China is ruthless. They treat their own people as expendable, as enemies, and they already hate black people. Africa, skillet to fire. Yeah, well, that's exactly what's gonna happen, you know. Uh Love Sauce 4, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Dr. London, how you doing? It says London breed. Oh my God. I'm talking about London and San Francisco. Let's see here. Um, Maxwell says, Dimitri, that sounds like a fire or break in, depending on your system. That's why I was like, let me go see exactly which one it was. But it wasn't my fire alarm. I know what that sounds like. And I don't have anything on. We'll see. Brother Don says that was a building alarm, not an apartment. Yeah. And I don't live in an apartment. I live in a house. So yeah, wasn't a smoke detector. Alonzo, how you doing? Thank you. He says leaders, Democrats, and Republicans, all wrong. It looks authoritarian. It looks authoritarian regime to me. And I'm back from Cali. You know, I was just in Cali not too long ago too. So we both back from Cali. But yes, I agree with you. And I think to try to say it's anything other than an authoritarian oligarchy, if you will, I think you're mistaken. I think you need to take off the blinders. That's exactly what it is. If it's just even to the textbook definition of oligarchy and authoritarian, it's textbook. So absolutely.
And real quick, I just got an alert on my phone. You guys heard that the Democrats have finally. This shows you how messed up the Democrats are and how bottom basement they have gone, and how tone deaf they've gone. They have just now hired 40 something social media people to spread the message, because I guess they finally realized having geriatric people out, we will win, doesn't resonate with young Democratic based people. So they're spreading their message, and they're trying to come up with a different way to fool you guys, just like the CBC does to black people. They're going to spin it in a different way. A lot of them are going to start calling themselves progressive. That is now a new thing that they're doing. And I'm not bashing the Democratic Party, but what I'm telling you is they hear us. They hear us and they know us, and they keep trying to spin a different narrative rather than to me, it would just be cheaper to just give us what we want, and so we could move the country forward. But no, they don't want to do this. This is the Democratic Party. Anything to spin it. But they finally realizing having a Maxine Waters, having a Jim Clyburn, having a Nancy Pelosi, the optics of the party does not resonate with young people. So be on the lookout.
Hey, Gary, I don't know why people aren't getting notifications, but in all fairness, I never get notifications either to channels that I have, my notifications on. I never do. So I'm not quite sure what that's about. And Michael,
yeah, that's on YouTube across the board. A lot of content creators have been, not complaining, but they're noticing that people are not going out. Roland's review, I didn't get your average logical thinkers thing out there. What it is if you are not doing the Democratic, I guess, two-step, they're trying to reduce your limit to them. But if you guys share the algorithm, hit that like button, it would help getting those notifications.
Yes, indeed. And Robert says, and it was the most honorable Elijah Muhammad who made the term black popular. Nobody was calling themselves black before the most honorable Elijah Muhammad made it cool to say we are black. And you know what? It's so funny because when I was saying that, I started to reach for my book, Black Man, right? So I don't have a problem with calling myself black, but you're right. And then, of course, James Brown came out, I'm black and I'm proud. And, of course, that just kind of took off, right? So, absolutely. Let's see who else is on here. Sharon, how you doing? Says black means the presence of all, 100%. Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Yes, indeed. Robert Platinum, how you doing? Says Bridge. Oh, Bridge over Maxine Waters. You need to stop it. Panther Strikes. How you do it? Says Dimitri Donovan. We are witnessing white supremacy's tool being broken. Everything either side can use against us. Freeman, FBA shows how desperate and immoral they are. Yep. And because I see a lot of people saying we just gonna sit back and we just gonna be eating our popcorn all the time to sit back and eat nothing. It's time for us to organize, get together, unify, and start doing for self like we've been asked to do for so long now, right? And let them do what they're gonna do, and we need to busy ourselves doing what we gotta do. Think about ants and bees, right? When ants they're doing their thing on the ground, they're not like, oh, I wonder what the bees are doing. Let's stop building our colonies so we can look what bees are doing and complain about what the bees are doing. The ants is like, let that bee come down here. We're gonna gaffle that bee up and it's gonna be in the colony. But in the meantime, we're gonna do what we're supposed to do, and bees is gonna mind bees' business, right? So that's what we need to be doing. Gina says, see, you can't tell us that and not tell us where we can hear you sing. Oh, I don't sing professionally anywhere now. I sing in my shower, around the house, and my daughter's like, shut up. But I'm more so a background singer. I used to mostly sing background, but I'm an alto by nature. Nowadays, I'm probably like a tenor. I can sing some soprano, falsetto on a good day. But yeah, I've sang my whole life, so I don't sing anywhere though. I've lettered and choir. I've gotten awards for singing. So yeah, there you go. All right, who else is on here before we get out of here? Roz says, since the government won't protect us, the female athletes should refuse. That's what they're doing to play with transgenders. When the teams lose money, things will change. And that's what a lot of them are doing. They're like, we're just not. In California, where I'm from, the IE, there's a situation in Martin Luther King High School where there was a trans individual that wanted to play, I forget, something with the girls, and they were like, no, and they wore these shirts that basically had the chromosome for women and men. It was like, he's not a girl, and it was a big old to do. The principal said it's almost like anti-Semitism, and of course, in that part of town, there's a lot of MAGA people there, and they've taken it all the way to the Supreme Court. That superintendent or the vice principal, whatever, they got fired, they resigned. It's a mess, but they're like, nah, we ain't putting up with it no more. So,
yeah, I just want to add to this real quick, fellas, ladies too. You guys remember the BBD video, Poison? Remember in the video, the girl is walking with the legs and stuff. You see the legs? That was Demetra. That was Demetra, and then in the background, she's he's got the tins.
Woo, boy, I tell you. Yeah, I ran track as well. Hey, Brother Samson, y'all got out of school early. Y'all having bad weather too, huh? Yeah, well, it was pretty funky here earlier. I was kind of concerned. It was trees and stuff falling over. The tree not too far by my house that fell over. It was a lot. But yeah, y'all do stay safe in Mississippi. Amazon woman, how you doing? Says, hey, everybody, just wondering why female actors aren't called actresses anymore. Notice that, yes, and they are actresses. You're absolutely right. Jane says, I'm black by popular demand, FBA today, all day. All right. G.A. Hamilton, thank you so much. He says, Mr. Mitri, you should also talk about the transgender that was in, yes, her movie that said very racist things about black folks. So yeah, that's the other revelation that came out, that the trans, and listen, I'll be talking above my head. That's why I say trans individual that said those things. Yeah, it was very anti-black. And then, of course, they go on this mea culpa. Oh, that's not who I am anymore. I'm sorry. I would have never. And all that's like, who cares? That's who you are. Okay. So I have more respect for you if you just stand 10 toes down on it. That's who I am. I'm not apologizing. I don't like black people. Move on. I'd be all right with that. I don't care. More Sam, how you doing? Thank you for becoming a member again. Long time no see. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Pop, wherever you've been. But thank you for becoming a member. 15 months. Thank you, thank you, thank you. JJ says, I'm not a big Tariq Nasheed fan, but he does speak the truth about the Dems. Oh, yes. He does speak the truth about the Dems, and the Dems need people to speak up. But again, like I said, Roland Martin's going to have this, Boule-a-thon tonight where they're going to be talking about how wonderful the Democrats are. And it's like, you're lying. You're the defiant, what is it? The defiant lawyer, whatever his name is. You're a liar. You guys are liars. And again, You guys lie to gullible to black people because unfortunately a lot of black people, and I know I'm getting in trouble for this, that listen to them are gullible. And they like all that kumbaya, we shall overcome, just keep on marching, keep on praying. They like all of that, right? Because what else do they don't think they have anything else. They've been taught by the Democrats and rolling all them, you can't do nothing without Massa giving it to you. If Massa's biscuit don't fall off the table, then you ain't nothing, boy. But as I said, I ain't trying to be mean. A lot of the people that listen to Roland, I'm gonna stop right there, okay? They've been here a long time. I'm gonna just put it that way. They've been here a long time.
Yeah, I was watching Brother Phil last night, and did you guys see a lot of these federal workers that are being laid off or threatened to be laid off? And I'm just making an observation. Brother Phil showed a clip of, I believe it was the NOAA people, whatever. It's a federal agency, whatever. And they were, of course, there was a bunch of white people, because you guys do realize 62% of the federal workforce are people who identify as white. You guys do realize that, right? So majority of the people that are in outrage right now against Trump are white people. He is dealing. Think about this, you guys. And Brother Phil, if you guys haven't, go download that African Diaspora News channel, because like I said, I was sitting there for a good hour watching the Philip Scott show podcast. And he's right. Trump is just messing with the white folks. He's messing with the Hispanics and the illegals. He ain't doing a damn thing to black people. If you really think about it, he isn't doing a damn thing. But back to my point about these federal employees. When he showed the clip, most of those federal employees could be my parent that they showed that was out there. And the white people were singing, and it was really so dry. I mean, they don't have that black civil rights type, groove thing, where it's kind of cool to be out there. They were just like, we will overcome someday, and don't do it because we're white and we're great. So you guys check out Philip Scott podcast. I mean, he's going to be covering a lot of that stuff, and but he's absolutely right though. If you really think about it, as a black person, why right now would you even worry about Donald Trump and what goes on in Ukraine and all this other stuff? Like he said, we ain't got nothing to lose. And he also agrees with me. When you're at the bottom of the economic scale, your life ain't going to change too much. It can only get better. It could only get better. So you guys pay attention and don't let these Democrats trick you into getting emotional for other people's situation. And don't get me wrong, I am with Demetra. People should not lose their jobs. But when you're 70 years old and you're still in a federal government job, that's a problem. That's a problem. You're just hanging on. You're just sitting there. So don't let them pull you into that BS. Like Phil said, just sit back. Donald Trump hasn't done one thing to black people since in his first term, nor has he done anything in his second term so far.
Jody Jibs, how you doing? He says, so Trump is the fine one. Who is this lady? I don't even know who you're talking about. I don't even know who I am most of the time if you're talking about me. So I don't know. Who's that lady? I don't know who you talking about. Yeah, it's mostly affecting white folks or whatever the case is, as far as these jobs. But I did a video on African Diaspora News Channel where I said a lot of white people voted for Trump because they thought he was going to stick it to black people. And again, they should have done their homework. Trump only cares about his people, rich. That's what he cares about. He only cares about rich people. He don't care about white people. If he cared about white people, they wouldn't be losing their jobs. They wouldn't be on the internet crying about their homes being gone. He cares about rich people. Okay. And like you said, black people, maybe, I don't know. We're always on the receiving end of stuff. So the few black people that's getting harmed, if that's a thing by Trump, it's nothing new. Black people are always harmed by white supremacy. And Trump is just furthering the agenda of white supremacy. For anybody to think that he's not is a fool. He is. He just, is very out and open with it, I guess. Now, if he writes a check for reparation, then we'll have a different conversation. Amazon woman says, It says, in my opinion, Zoe tried to act black and Drumline didn't like it. I could see that now that you said that. Reggie, you up? Yes, we'll be back at 5. He says, Rolanda Martin is a threat to democracy. Yes, he is. DJX1, how you doing? Says FBA all day, every day. Mad Dog, how you doing? Jody says, Trump is not the answer. He says, girl, please, you need to stop. You ain't lying. I need to go lay my ass down because I'm tired. Brother Don, he says, you have to understand whose agenda is the normalization of transgender and where does the ideology originate. Answer that and you will know the direction they want to take this world. Yeah, we already know. I mean, like I said, if you watch the Oscars, it's like, damn, they got men in skirts and all kinds of stuff going on here. Wow. You know, wasn't surprised though. Pop, he says the Trump pansy is hated by a lot of world leaders. Yeah, they're starting to raises their eyebrows about him. Reggie says his audience is mostly the big hat church gang. Yeah, you said it. You said it better than I can. Just know that they've been here for a long time. I don't know how much longer they're gonna be here. That's how I'm gonna be nice about it. And Alonzo, you says Donovan, I know, but I have hollered at Mo 3 times and she has not responded. So you talking about your average logical thinker? That you talking about? I saw you said you offered her a ride home, and what happened? Now I'm invested. Magic Blade says Roland is an agent. I used to watch his podcast. He is definitely an agent, and y'all could tell him I said it. He's blocked me on most platforms, which I don't really care, but he has. But yeah, he's definitely an agent. And MVS Coke, I'll say I don't mention your name, but how you doing? It says Mexicans upset with Zoe too. Yeah, because the movie's about a Mexican transgender person. And she got up there and thanked her Dominican people and didn't say nothing about Mexico. And she says, well, the movie wasn't about Mexico necessarily. It's about women, you know, but it is about Mexico. Arson, thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you. Jody says, good, and so is everyone else against Trump. So he says, not just white people, it's black. Okay. Tanya says, that's why I'm not caring about the government, white people's jobs. I don't know if caring is a thing, but a lot of them voted for Trump because they thought he was going to stick it to us. And surprise. Brother Damon says, Roland picked the wrong day. It's Black Alpha Network Tuesday on YouTube. Yeah, he said he wants 100,000. You never know. You might get it, right? Robert says, Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that Donald Trump will be America's last president. And he said this when Trump was in office the first time. Yeah, but he says, I think, right? I think in 2017, Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan says Trump will be the last president. I think. And then here he is again. Here he is again, the president. If you ask me, if you're really paying attention and not just going off of sound bites and clips and stuff, if you really are paying attention, sitting back and listening, I could see that. I could see that just by how they're trying to move it. You know what's so funny? Because I was having this conversation with my daughter today, and I said, you know, they always talk about how Trump may be the Antichrist. I said, what if the Antichrist is really Elon? I'll just be thinking. I'm not saying he is. I'm saying, what if he is?
Well, unfortunately, the Antichrist was Ronald Wilson Reagan.
Oh, God.
Add up the numbers, 666.
Lord have mercy. Well, he dead, okay? He dead. So I don't know how that washes. Anyway, let me go on down. Yes, more Sam Donovan is he cracks us all up because he is a fool. Gerard, how you doing? Says I don't think Trump is doing anything to black people because he's doing it to all of us. I'm curious to see more food recalls and public safety failures in the coming years. Yeah, and even they said with the weather, they laid off 600 people at the National Oceanography, something. They track the weather and all of that, and that's where the weather people get all their data from. They laid off 600 people, and there's like, why? When we have all this horrible weather going on. So that's why I said what Farrakhan said and what we're seeing, all this is making sense. All of it. So, you know, tread lightly. Mad Dog says, I never liked Zoe Saldana. And Thunder, how you doing? Says, question, is it safe to say that President Trump has made it equally uncomfortable for everyone? The main reason we black folks ain't feeling it is because it's just another Tuesday. Bingo. There you go. He's making it better for rich people. Everybody else can kiss his orange behind. Russell says, white as a collective don't have our experiences. Nope. Jody says, Dimitri, I respect your opinion. I'm new here, but don't you see Trump as the one who is why we're paying more for everything? No, because we were paying more for everything before Trump got in. Now, with these tariffs going on, with him putting the tariffs on these countries and these countries putting tariffs on us, oh, yeah, the ish is going to hit the fan if you can afford to buy a fan. Okay, it is. So, but as they say in the Nation of Islam, have been saying, store your food and water. Yesterday, I give y'all a quick story. Me and my daughter went to Walmart. Yes, I go to Walmart. I ain't in this DI boycott or whatever. I'm going to go store and get what I need. Okay, and I needed some water. I saw this brother and he was dressed in fatigues, right? And his daughters, they had dreads and stuff. And he pulled out, I don't know, it was like 20, 30 water bottles. And he was going to take them to Walmart and fill them up. And I told my daughter, I said, when you see that, what do you see? And she says that he's getting prepared for something. I said, yeah, that's what they call people like doomsdayers or whatever, preparing for doomsday. I said, that brother knows something. And I said, let's get ourselves in there and get all our water. I buy a lot of water, okay? People be looking at me like, it's like I was looking at him, right? The dude. So we've been told to store our food and water for a very long time. And here we are at the point where food and water is going to get expensive to where beans and rice that we used to have to eat, that we didn't want to eat, but we had to eat. Yeah, we're going to be having to season those every which way but loose because things are going to get through the roof. So if you ain't prepared, and listen, I know a lot of people are saying, well, that ain't going to affect me. Oh, yes. This is going to have a trickle up and a trickle down. Because if corporations, as Forever 21, closed their Los Angeles store and they laid off a bunch of people yesterday and a whole bunch of other corporations, okay? So middle class is basically built off of what? Being self-employed a lot. If corporations can't make it, middle class can't make it either. Middle class hires people, the proletariat, so do the corporations. So then you're going to have this crunch. And now you're going to see it all unfold. So if you ain't ready, I tell you what, y'all make this your homework. Go watch Leave the World Behind. Just go watch that. And then we can have.
I was Kevin Bacon in that one, but that was me.
Yeah, but a lot of people are Ethan Hawke. I didn't know. I can't use my phone. You don't have a map. You don't know how to read a compass. You don't know how to see which way the wind is blowing.
Nope, you were never in the Boy Scouts or the Girl Scouts. You know, we just threw all these things away, and it's just, you know, super crazy. But I always tell people this too. Watch California. We are the highest taxed and stressed state. So when you see people acting up here in California, that's going to give an indication to the other states because we are squeezed to where we ain't got. We are squeezed so hard, it's like squeezing a booger out of a quarter. You know what I mean? So watch California. I mean, we're getting to a point where people are losing it here because they can't do it anymore. They can't make it.
Thank you, Sam, for that affirmation. And I saw an article today. It says Houston, Atlanta, and Jacksonville are where the most Americans, for whatever reason, are financially strapped. I don't know how that is, but and I didn't delve into the article. I just read a little bit of it. That Houston, Atlanta, and Jacksonville, or they didn't say black people, but it says Americans are financially strapped. So I'm like, if it's going on in those places, surely it's really bad for us. Obviously, we know that, right? Black Americans everywhere.
Yeah. Well, wasn't it said like 10 years ago that most Americans only have $300 in their savings? You guys notice that Americans don't have nothing in their savings. They're living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah. Yeah. Most people are not, but again, like I said, as not me, but Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, don't laugh, learn. While we, as I said, don't be laughing at people losing their jobs and stuff. It's coming. You just maybe ain't lost yours yet. It's coming. Believe that. Hey, AJ3, I think that's how you say it, says, should we also boycott BET Awards? Ben should have. Yes. That we don't own those, right? Yeah, so absolutely. Jody says, you're worried about men in skirts when the world is falling apart. That is just a distraction. You are falling for. That's exactly where he wants you to be. I'm not distracted by men in skirts. I would be distracted if I saw one in a skirt, but I'm not distracted to where I can't focus on anything else. but the men in skirts is all a piece of the puzzle. So they're not disconnected, if you will. They're all connected. If you put all the pieces together and you step back, then you're going to see a better picture of what's going on. And it's all by design. None of this is an accident. Arson says, by next Sunday, I'll have a few questions for Donovan about Trump. In the meanwhile, can I ask you too, if you're watching Senate hearings on YouTube, is reliable source for information? I think so. You know, if it's live and it's happening in real time, I think it's reliable. Now, what they're saying, I don't know, but the fact that it's going on, yeah, sure, I would think so.
You know, and let me give you guys advice. This is our problem. We watch a show and we take what they say as gospel. What do we say on this show all the time? Don't listen to what Demetra's saying. Don't listen. I mean, listen to what she's saying, but research what she's saying. We challenge you guys. We research what she's saying if it's factual. You just can't take one source. Get many sources and do your homework. Just don't say, yeah. It just doesn't make sense. And then come to your own conclusion.
Yeah. And Alonzo, thank you once again for the donation. Love and appreciate you. Says Trump doesn't like anybody. Say it again for them in the back. He's an opportunist. Money, nothing else. That's it. That's all Trump has ever been. He's just a rich guy that happened to get into politics. And guess who else is just a rich guy that happened to get into politics? Elon. So there you have it, right? Swift, how you doing? Says no, she knows Nina Simone. No, I don't even know who thought that she was, right? She being Zoe Saldana. And MC Fact says, I didn't watch the Oscar, so the men in dresses shaking my head. Brother Reggie says, Zoe Yahidra, and I know I jacked that up. Saldana Prego, something. Never cared for her, especially after that Nina Simone movie fiasco. Yeah, she should have never did that. Anonymous B, how you doing? Where you been? Says Zoe was always team Hispanica, and maybe we're just not knowing about it. Michael, he says, Demetra, forget about Democrats because they won't do cash payment reparations for Black American freedmen or chattel slavery and other universal policies, red, green, independent, or third party candidate. Yes, and somebody on here asked about us starting our own political party. Yeah, we should. The Black Party. And DJ, he says, peace, Demetra Donovan. I'll catch you on the next live. Great work as always. Thank you. So yeah, we're going to get out here because we're supposed to be coming back at 5. So I got to rest my voice because unfortunately I'll be getting laryngitis lately. I don't know why, because I probably talk too much. Sherry says, look at Elon's face. He looks evil. And I agree with you, Donovan. I could not stand Ronald Reagan and I want nothing but 12 to 13 at the time. I wasn't but 12 or 13 at the time, but I knew something about that man was evil. Yes. He had that trickle down economics, and this. Guess we're still waiting. Soul inspired. He says Elon and Bill Gates are the issue. Yeah, if you know, you know. Our Negro says the Antichrist is anyone anti-black. You guys take it too literally. It won't be just one person, just like Christ coming back. It will be through us. No, I mean I agree. I was actually just joking around, you know, when I said it, because a lot of people were saying Trump is the Antichrist. I was like, well, maybe it's Elon. I don't know, but it was a joke. Rod says Donovan is right about Reagan, and don't forget about Daddy George Bush Sr. Yep. You crazy. You talking about the Antichrist is Anthony Fauci. Robert says the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is a chosen messenger of God, just like Aaron was. The government of the United States is the new Pharaoh, and America is the new Egypt. Yep. Brother Ishmael Muhammad talked about that. I didn't catch the second one this last Sunday, but I'm going to watch it. Savior's Day address, and he said that. He talked about the pharaohs, and I thought that was just genius. And of course, it was a message from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So yes, indeed. All right, so we're gonna get out here, y'all. When that bro Goo, where have you been? He says, I'm just tuning in to the stream, and I see that one of the subject matters is Zoe Saldana. I've always said that Zoe Saldana, I absolutely love her some zaddy. She never is with a black man in the movies. Nick Cannon. Now I don't know if she was with somebody else, but Nick Cannon. HDLC, how you doing? Long time no see. Says lentil beans are tasty, yeah, but they jack your stomach up, man. Dante says news alert. There's something going on at TSU right now. There's a big bus that says Freedom Riders, and they have signs, and the media is there on Blodgett Street. So is that where perhaps maybe Roland is filming? I don't know, at TSU. I know where that is though. It's a HBCU. That's why I asked. Because they're supposed to be doing something big today. All the Boule soiree, the Boule-a-thon is supposed to be happening tonight. Saint LLC, how you doing? Says don't forget NYC, we are struggling too and highly taxed everywhere, right? Yes, our Negroes, California needs to be broken up so I could come back. I miss California. I do. But the housing market is crazy out there. All right. And Alonzo says men in skirts are part of the problem. Yep. If you know, you know. Connect the dots. Mike Williams, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Facts Not Feelings. We're gonna get out of here, but we're gonna be back in less than 3 hours. Moriel, how you doing? Says yes. I'll say talking to Tanya, but how you doing? I'm just seeing who else came on here that I did not see, and I'm gonna give it back over to Donovan. Brother Samuel says Donovan, that image got Charlie's Angels vibes. Oh, you talking about the one African diaspora new channel behind him? Yeah. I actually been meaning to change my picture, but I'm lazy. Hey, Bakari, how you doing? We're gonna get out of here though. We won't be right on back though. Sanchez, how you doing? Says Zoe is an Afro-Latina. She can deny if she chooses. Dominant society don't care nothing about her claiming Dominica. She looks black to them. Yeah, you can tell she's, of this Latin persuasion, but yeah, she looks black to me as well. Thunder says, don't tell me Roland is there. I'm making the U-turn right now. Yeah, go find out. Go find out if he's there and let us in and let us know. Maybe you can be our little operative in there, and stand up and say, get your hand out my pocket. I'm just playing. I'm just kidding. Matthew, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. And we're going to get out of here. Listen, we'll be back in less than 2 hours, 3 hours. Donovan, what do you want to talk about?
Man, it's really a lot. Now, there's really not a lot going on. Everything is kind of low and slow, but we're gonna have to find something. But again, the biggest thing that I woke up to was the Democrats trying to trick their voters with this new messaging that they're trying to do. And I'm like, why do you have to trick people to vote for you or to jump on your campaign? Just tell them the truth. But I don't know. I just think
that's what we'll go with it. We'll do a opposition show to the Boule soiree.
Right.
How about that? Yeah, it's a Boule soiree going on, a Boule-a-thon. Okay.
Right. And by the way, you guys, I know I want you to say that before I go, I want you guys to think about this. Everybody realizes the economy is actually showing itself because we've been in a false economy because of all the money being put into the economy, all these billions of dollars being printed up and stuff like this. Notice right now, people's behavior has not changed. Everybody's panicking, but they're still partying. They're still going on their cruises. They're still getting on the planes, right? And I'm going to say this because I was born in Louisiana. Right now in Louisiana, them Negroes are partying hard.
That's the Mardi Gras.
Yeah, no, and I get it. And I get it. But what I'm saying is we know that we are in some troubled times with the water and stuff like that. But have you noticed that nobody wants to change their lifestyle? So something I want to put out there.
Yeah, they as James Baldwin said in his book that I love so much, fire next time. The first time it was water. First time Noah said, hey, God told me to tell everybody to come on because he's gonna flood the world. And it was like, who you talking to? We partying, and then when he wheeled up that the moat to the boat, it's like, wait, you was serious? So
isn't there some fires going on in South Carolina right now?
Yeah, there were. I don't know if it still is, but as of yesterday, yeah. And they said that we might have a little something going on here. So let me keep my head on swivel, get my little, bag of whatever I got to get and get on out of here. More Sammy says, I'm dead, Dimitri. What you say? Says, get your hand out of my pocket. I'm just saying. That's all we need Thunder to do is just going up in there. That's all I need you to do, though. Hey, Cynthia, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. All right. Yes, as in the days of Noah, Brother Don. CJ says, laugh out loud, Miss D, but that's right. Folks learn the hard way. Yeah. Yes, Sodom and Gomorrah. And I don't know what you spell, Brother Don, but I think that's what you meant. AE, how you doing? Says, always Saldana. The racism she has encountered from both Black America and those racist Hispanics is despicable. Everyone should be ashamed, and congratulations to her win. I don't know. I mean, I think people have a right to feel the way they feel. Is it racism? Or is it more problematic for her saying this movie is not about Mexico, but it was about a Mexican trans individual? This is about women, you know, which I don't know how it's about women. Let me shut up if I get in trouble. But then black people, you know, she talking about she not black, but she played in some black movies being very black. So I don't know. He said racism. Yes. I mean, what are they doing to her? She's the one of the wealthiest actresses in the world. How are racism is stopping somebody from doing something that they want to do, right? Impeding them institutionally and systemically. Zoe is not that. So how is she a victim of racism? She's not being harmed in any way. She's one of the richest actresses in the history of acting. So how is she being harmed? She any movie she wants to be in, she's in the number one grossing franchise ever in history, Avatar. She's a lead in that. So how is racism affecting Zoe? Now are people discriminating? Maybe. Are they being prejudiced? Maybe. Are they being a little mean? Maybe. But are they practicing racism against her? I don't think so. I don't know. I could be wrong. Deb knows how you doing. Where have you been? You don't get a whooping. You've been missing. He says, I'm Panamanian, but know what crew I belong to. Black first. Yes, indeed.
Has a Panamanian sister-in-law. I've been to Panama. Beautiful country. Beautiful country. I'm going to tell you guys this. This is my opinion. There is not an ugly woman in the country of Panama. I literally mean that. The older women look good. I have yet to go to Panama and experience an ugly woman in Panama.
Yes, and that's my sister. I don't even call her my sister-in-law. That's my sis. He says, so there's colorism amongst Dominicans? Oh, yes. Yes. My God. Anyway, if we don't leave now, we ain't coming. Burn the Shed, how you doing? I know I said your name wrong, but they're not like us. They not black. They don't come from us like Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, Frederick Douglass, and Michael Jackson. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Just us. How you doing? Narmer X, how you doing? Okay, for real, we about to get out of here. AE says there is an acceptance in both Black America and in these Hispanic countries to be racist. Black people can't be racist. Black Americans cannot be racist. Maybe we could get into that later on. But anyway, love and appreciate y'all. See y'all later. Peace. Come back. We'll be back about 2.5 hours, give or take. Bye.